Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. On the first day in the afternoon of our live videos Remembrance. And I'm really excited for today because as I was tapping into that, I was really vibrating on bed, really just to see like what's going on in the collective at this moment, which is something that of course has been happening, but just to feel it was so amazing. Because let me tell you something, I was actually sitting on the dining room table, and then I was looking at the table. Okay, hold on 1 second, my puppy wants to go out. Oh my goodness, baby, you're not ready for a live video. Okay, go. Okay, so I was sitting on the dining room table, and all of a sudden, like I just felt like I was totally in different places at the very same time, and then all of a sudden I saw the table moving. I saw the table moving, and I was just like, you know, those kind of sensations of like, oh my gosh, I'm about to pass out, but knowing that I wasn't gonna pass out. And it was kind of phenomenal. And so then throughout the day after that, and there was a sensation on my third eye that was like, whoa. So I chilled for a couple minutes before coming, an hour before the live video or so, just to tap into that. So this is really fascinating because it's going into what's happening in the solar plexus and why the solar plexus is so important in the awakening process, but not just in the awakening process, but really in our lives as a whole. And at the same time, like, hola Mikami, at the same time, it's the importance of it, you know? So in your solar plexus, the 72,000 nadis. 72,000 nadis, you guys. And so nadis are the energetic channels, right? So then the channels through which like the energy moves through. So it's like a really amazing hub of energy that we have, right? So a lot of times, you know, like of course the concentration on the awakening process goes into the heart space, maybe even the third eye, right? So how many of us have actually concentrated on like the third eye point to awaken the intuition and the upper chakras, right? Starting from the heart, right? Where the heart is the center space in a way. But then we really forget at times about the importance of the lower triangle, the lower chakras, and then specifically this like solar plexus energy. The solar plexus energy, as I was seeing it today, because it was just like pulsating so much. You can see this as like the energy of a volcano, okay? So think about whenever you have actually exploded out of anger, right? So whenever you were not in control of your emotions, right? And then all of a sudden, like, maybe you just kept it in and you didn't say, you didn't speak your truth, or you just like did not express yourself how you wanted to express yourself at that moment. And all of a sudden something comes in and you're like, you're totally explode. And then maybe, you know, saying something not very nice to somebody else, including yourself perhaps, yeah? And so this is also like power of the solar plexus, but what happens is that you didn't really tune in into the wise energy of the wise part of that energy. So in the solar plexus area, you know, it has the power to fully, of course, explode, right? But with awareness, you know, when we actually use the intention, we can really use that energy and move it to any chakra to activate it, to even use that power, you know. So one of my teachers, you know, Simrit, she's also a Kundalini teacher. If you haven't heard her music, it's amazing, really amazing. So she teaches that also by engaging slightly the navel, you can move that energy all the way up to the chakras, right? So then this is also the power of the voice, okay? So the solar plexus energy, you know, like we have the ability, you know, and it's of course it's part of our beings, right? So we have the ability to really tune in into this massive amount of energy that at the same time is almost like the sun, okay? So think about it, right? Our bodies is the earth, right? And so just like the earth, we need water. Of course, we need water, right? To flourish, right? To keep hydrated, to also like really water our own garden, right? So our own garden, literally like our manifestations, the seed of manifestations. And now, at the same time, it's our soul, you know, the energy of our soul, right? So here, you know, whenever we're really tuning in into the solar plexus, there's also a connection with the sun. And through that, you know, there's the merge. Goodness, there's the merge, the sacred marriage, right? Of the sun and also the earth, you know, the masculine of the energy and the feminine energies, right? So now this potential, you know, it's always there, right? It's always with us. And of course, you know, like this is why there's a lot of breath of fire in Kundalini yoga, right? And of course in yoga asana practice like vinyasa and hatha, you have the Uddiyana Bandha, which is a abdominal lock, right? You have like the belly like slightly in. So then you use the power of the 72,000 nadis that we have inside, right? Think about it. Is one of the hubs of energy that has like the most like nadis right there, like the energetic channels, right? Why do we have that? And we don't even use it, right? So perhaps it's our lack of awareness. Maybe, I mean, before I actually took this course with Simrit, I had no idea that I had 72,000 nadis in my solar plexus, and I was like, holy shit, you know? And so like the awareness and also again, you know, the intention to really use all those energies to move it somewhere else, right? So as we visualize something, we can move the energy anywhere, right? You visualize you're already in the energetics, right? So through that, you can move it even, you know, to the crown. And could you imagine that energy of the solar plexus, the energy of your soul, the fire energy that connects here with the upper realms? Then like how intense in a really good way would the connection be, you know, to the higher realms if you're like have been trying to really connect with like different kind of beings, or at the same time the highest version of yourself, what we call our guides and all that, you know? And now like one thing that I was like tapping into that, right? So like rather than allowing the energy of the solar plexus to explode, like I was having this example of whenever you get angry or when you have gotten angry and all of a sudden you just exploded, right? So before the explosion, right? Because what happens is that explosion happens out of lack of awareness that we have that energy. So you can also use anger, okay? So you can use also that power of anger, of frustration, you know, that fire energy to move it consciously in your body. Yeah, this is why it's so important to be in tune with also like your emotions. The emotions carry energy, right? So rather than really letting it explode and letting it just like do their thing, you know, with awareness, with you just like having the intention that you're moving it, it will move. Of course, you know, like maybe you will not really feel it right away, right? But the power of intention, you guys, the power of intention, that's your access point. Now, as I was like tapping into that, you know, I was like feeling really this pulsation intensely on my womb. And then so I was asking my guides, you know, like, okay, so, well, you're talking about the solar plexus, right? But then I'm feeling this a lot in my womb. So the thing says, you know, the more that your solar plexus really is in tune with itself, right? So it's like really in balance, right? What is it really working with you? It activates all the other chakras. So of course, you know, imagine one more time the example, you know, the sun energy in the solar plexus, right? And so this, as the sun is like fully shining, think about a sunny day. Well, you kind of see it a little bit, right? Think about a sunny day, right? So the sun is like really like just giving so much energy to the plants, to the trees, to the animals, to our skin, whatever, right? So when it shines, it's just really shining on everything, right? It's the same thing with your solar plexus. And because it's right next to the womb, or the hara for men, you know, is doing the exact same thing. So it's activating, it's feeding your other chakras. And like, what else do we want? You know, how powerful is that, that, you know, your system is just intelligent enough that it doesn't even need to, like, it doesn't really need to do anything else but just be itself. And this is like the power of the awakening process, because as you're awakening, you're just really allowing yourself to be, you know, rather than really going into your head like, oh, maybe if I'm doing this thing, this person's gonna get mad, or this is what my parents tell me to do, or my partner, whatever, you know. But like, here it is, you know, like, the more that you let your being be and your system be, by of course honoring your truth, but at the same time resting, you guys, like resting, taking a moment to even lay down in bed, or like sit on a chair, or like go to nature and hang out and be in stillness, the more that you can tap into that. And that is the power, that is the power that you also carry. Okay, so the more aware you are of these energies, the more that you work with them, goodness, like, can you even imagine what you can do? Honestly, my mind cannot fathom what it can actually do, right? But it's like the power that you carry inside. Those 72 nadis are there already working for you, already working for you. And so the illusion in this life is that you have to like totally awaken them, that you have to clean them, and that whatever it is, right? But what you actually have to do is remove those layers, you know, those like clouds around that, so that you can see that those energies are actually already working for you. So you can see that your womb is already like as powerful as you could ever imagine, or even more, you know. So you can see also like the root chakra that is just like down, super connected to the earth. And this is another thing that I was shown, you know, like the power of like being rooted, you know, to like the center of the earth. You know, like how many times if you channel energy, you're just up in the clouds, right? Which of course that's part of the awakening process, but at the same time, you know, just being up in the clouds, it means that a part of you is not embodied, right? We are embodied beings. And so through this process of really tuning in into your solar plexus, and you know that this energy is also circulating down to your root chakra, you know that you're so freaking rooted. You know that you have that energy of the earth that is coming through the feet, through like, you know, the channel that goes down straight into the earth, and just like the heat of the mother, the womb of the earth that is constantly feeding you. Oh my goodness, this is really dope, because this is something that like this is something that is just coming through right now. The womb of the earth, you guys. We're not out of the womb. We're not out of the womb. We're still in the womb of the earth. We are still connected to that. You know, when you are being fed, right, by your mother, when you're inside her womb, right, as a tiny little like cell first, and you become this fetus, and then you slowly are like this amazing being that's taking force out of the love of your mother, that she's feeding you, she's giving you everything, and you're connecting with like all the ancestors of that lineage and so much more. Like, right? And then you come out of the womb, and the umbilical cord gets cut, right? And in a way you feel like you're not connected with the mother, but you're still connected energetically, right? So this umbilical cord of ours is down from the root chakra all the way down to the center of the earth, and it's not gone. It's not gone. So she's constantly sending you messages. Why do you think the cacao is so freaking powerful? All these plant medicines that come from the earth, goodness. And I'm not even just talking about like, you know, cacao, hape, or like even ayahuasca, right? I'm talking about really about like food, right? Food, when it's like really like harvest and made like with so much love, and it's organic, that you haven't even placed anything on it. And then when you honor that the food is also medicine, then that's just a game changer too. You know, it's like every single plant, you know, has a way that it connects with you. Every single plant comes from the earth, just like you, right? So this is how the mother is feeding you, not just to the umbilical cord that again goes from the root chakra all the way to the center of the earth. She's constantly sending all these messages. She's constantly sending you like all this love, all this support, all this embrace, you know. One more time, you're now disconnected from her, you know. But at the same time, like the love of the mother, you guys, that she just has so much around for us, that in a way, I find it really, really silly, honestly, that nowadays we have to pay so much money to like get something from the earth. That is like, how did this even become something, And now that like prices are rising too, right? But like, how can we use this in a matter to grow more, right? Because again, this hub of the solar plexus, yes, it's in each of us, but at the same time, all of us combined, we're also part of this ginormous being that is the collective. Okay, so the more that you actually pay attention to your solar plexus, the more that it gets activated and remembered to in the collective. Your journey is not just about you. Your journey is about us. And that is the power that we carry, The more that you're in this journey, you get out of the me world, and you go back more into us. Our story, what happened to us, how do we remember, how do we support each other, community, unity, unity, that unity of us, the oneness, this place is just like pretty freaking perfect in the illusion space, right? But then that is just clouds, you guys. And of course, like, yes, we do live, I'm not telling you to like get out of your body or stuff, like what I'm saying is like, we can use this illusion to empower us. And how do you do that? By tapping into you, Your energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie at all. So you tap into your being, you tap to your emotions, you use the energy of the emotions, not to destroy you, but to empower you. Like I was saying, the energy of anger, you can use that energy that is also part of the solar plexus to just like move it somewhere else, to alchemize that energy right away. You don't have to take like 50,000 years. I'm totally exaggerating, but like, like a full-on day to be so angry and then just like explode and whatever. Think about the volcano analogy that I said about the solar plexus, right? You don't have to wait for the volcano to explode and kind of explode without you even knowing. You can use the energy and tap into the vibrations of that volcano that is bubbling and bubbling and bubbling, and then move it, whatever it is that you feel more comfortable to alchemize it, right? So one of the things that I do that I feel more comfortable with is alchemize it with my voice. I move that energy from the solar plexus all the way through my throat and I chant. I grab my drum and I chant. And sometimes, honestly, yeah, I do scream. Sometimes we've got to do that, if that feels good for you. It's also just making sounds, you guys, Maybe for you, it's more about creativity. Maybe for you, when you're just so angry, and not just the anger, but also, like, in a way, the shadow aspect of the heart, grief. You move that energy down to the sacral chakra, and you use that for creativity. There's so much power, we can just alchemize things so quickly, you guys. You don't need to be in this like spiral thing forever. This is where awareness comes in. This is where, again, one more time, your intention is your access point. Your intention is your access point. And you have that inside of you. We all do. And this is so silly. They're like a lot of us are not taught these things as kids, and we just have to figure out in our journey. But I'm telling you this, but like my guides showed me. And also, again, what some of my teachers told me. 72,000 nadis in the solar plexus. That's a lot of freaking nadis, you guys. And that, that hub of energy, that really with your awareness, with your intention, you can move her anywhere. Literally anywhere. Okay, so think about next time that you're going through something. We all go through something, we all go through something. We all go through like really blissful moments. We all go through like very like angry moments. We all go through grief, through like heartaches. Excuse me. Yeah, but like we can use this to empower us. You can use that to empower you rather than just like maybe feeling sorry for yourself, Think about the highest version of yourself that continuously merges with you. So the highest version of yourself is not looking at the things that's happening and saying like, oh, poor me, like, why is this happening? And saying, cool, thank you. Such a freaking blessing. And now I'm just going to continue to open up myself and continue to trust and have the devotion that I have in my journey and go. Yeah. And so if this is something that you are really like in a way calling for, this is something that is already inside of you. And you can do it. Of course you can do it, you know, and you're so welcome. There's so much happening, you know. There really is so much happening, and like it goes in waves. The awakening process goes in waves, and at times like I've heard people like, yeah, like people say this all the time, but like the waves, you guys, every time the awakening goes in waves, it goes deeper into like something that has already worked through. And maybe, you know, that was the push, right? And talking about push, tomorrow is the first quarter of the moon, of this moon cycle. The first quarter, most of the time, brings a challenge, okay? And whenever we think about challenge, sometimes it's like, oh, it's something horrible. But again, empowerment. Think about empowerment. How can you use that challenge to actually help you to tune in more into your magic? To tune in more into like that which you already are, you know, rather than like, you know, pretending that you're something if that's what you're doing or if that's what you did, you know. I can tell you from my experience, I definitely pretended many times like years ago, like that I was something that I was not, you know. Especially like us, the ones that are like highly intuitively, and then we have like so much like magic coming through, you know. Sometimes we have hidden it because it was seen as crazy. However, sorry if you hear my puppy like screaming. But going back, you know, the power of your solar plexus. And now, you know, the summer solstice is coming through, right? June 21st, the summer solstice is the most powerful moment to begin it, to really just be in tune with you. It's a celebration, you know. It really is a celebration of you, but like the culmination of a point, you know, and a celebration of the sun as well. So celebrate that solar plexus, you know. This is not about like go and do like 50,000 abs, yeah. Like, yeah, it definitely helps to do like something for the navel, right? That's why I was saying breath of fire. But, you know, something that can actually help you with that. It could easily be as just slowing down and tapping into the energies of your solar plexus, or like placing your hand on your belly and just saying like, I'm ready to deeply connect with you. Like super simple things, you know. It's not like you have to go all these crazy things, yeah. But the thing is that it's already inside of you. It is already activated. It is already awakened. And so all you have to do is really get out of being in the clouds of the illusions and tapping really into what you know is your truth. As simple as that. As simple as that. Awesome. Oh my lord, as I'm talking about the solar plexus and the sun is totally in my face. But I hope this really helps, because when I was seeing that, I was like, wow, you know. And like take your time too, because I'm not sure about you, but I've been vibrating like crazy. And I was saying at the very beginning of the live video, I was sitting on the dining room table, and all of a sudden, like, the table moved. And I was asking, you know, my ex right there, they say like, hey, is the table moving? Because I'm literally seeing it just move, but like the vibrations of it was so intense. It was pretty cool. But so, you know, sometimes we need to take more rest, and that's also honoring your truth, right? Getting out of the condition of just like being on the go all the time. What does that do to your energetic body? You know, in order to tap into your energy, stillness is required, and at times stillness to dance too. Yeah. So things to think about and things to implement, you know. Just delivering the messages that came through that were pretty awesome, pretty freaking awesome. And also let me tell you that on the summer solstice, I'm launching a series called Road to Enlightenment, which is a 6-part series, and we start with the first part, which is arriving, and it will be 6 classes, $30 per person. And you don't have to take every single class, you know, whichever class you feel aligned. And at the same time, there will be, of course, channel messages and teachings. We'll do a little bit of an activation and open up for questions. This is all just to help you to be present in your body, in your journey. How can you really tune in back into that which already is in you, rather than, you know, going for external sources. Hi, baby. Yeah. And well, you know, I'm doing a retreat with this amazing woman here, Cami, and other amazing women also in Tulum, Mexico in October. So we still have the early bird prices. Feel free to check it out on the website or the link in my bio and see if that feels aligned for you. It's mostly the power of the womb, you guys. Now we're talking about the solar plexus, right? So we can use the energy of the solar plexus to also go back into like the processing of the womb as well. And yeah, I'll also be doing one in Cusco, Peru, like right after that too. See which energies feel more aligned with you, and send me a message if you have any questions, you know. Oh yes, it's already super epic. And this baby needs my attention, so I'm gonna let you go. Many blessings. You know, these live videos, the recordings of the voice, actually I started to put it on my podcast too, so for those that like really want to catch into like the other teachings that I've been channeling through the live videos, every Monday I post one, and so you can find it on the Rise of the Feminine podcast. The link is also in my bio. So you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Let's have a beautiful and fantastic week. And yeah, just do you. Do you, be you, and enjoy your life. Ciao.